This episode of Badass Agents Podcast is brought to you by Jason Smith team at Nova Home Loans. Jason, a Navy veteran, has been recognized as one of the top 100 loan originators in the country. There is no task too big or too small for the Jason Smith team. Every client counts. For the best rates and great service, contact Jason at 480-227-6231 or visit novahomeloans.com. I personally stand by his service, and so do thousands of satisfied clients. That's Jason Smith at Nova Home Loans, NMLS number 210839. I put it all on them because I want them to be clear that if they build something significant, it's going to be on the back of their hard work, not my promises, not the shiny light. And I think that's why we have so much pride in what we do, and we find so much satisfaction in seeing others grow within the organization, because we understand it was not easy, and nothing easy was ever promised here. Hey, welcome to another episode of Mindset Mastery. I'm your host, AZ Araujo, and this can be listened to on Badass Agents Podcast. And if you haven't subscribed, rated, or reviewed it, please do so. This helps the ratings and to be able to get out to more people, right? And if this serves you, please share it with family, friends, people in the industry, people outside of the industry. This is more geared for entrepreneurs, right? Just like yourself. And we understand that a lot of responsibility comes with entrepreneurship. We understand that it's a lot of hard work, and the results are 100% based and on the back of that action. It's never anything significant is never built on the back of somebody else's hard work, right? It's built on your hard work. And I have, and I was thinking about this. I pray a lot. I meditate. I take some time and space to be able to hopefully bring you what I'm feeling inside, right? And today my intention is to completely just fire you up and bring, any of those shiny objects back into perspective, that they're simply just shiny, and that the hard work will always come on the back of what you're doing and your intentions, right? And, being in this game for so long, running teams for over 17 years, running now this brokerage for now it's like 10 years, right? 10 years. And just being in this real estate game and just seeing my overall growth and progression, I sometimes look into how I got here, right? I look at how I got here, not to say that, I've arrived by any means. And you know that. Those that decide to run with me understand that. You understand that I'm only a fraction of who I will be, because you see that within yourself. You're only a fraction of who you will be based on the actions you are willing to take on a daily. But I find a lot of satisfaction. I find a lot of satisfaction in being able to see agents coming through, what I call real estate entrepreneurs coming through and building something significant, building something that is theirs 100%. Right? Because the promise is never that I will save you. The promise is not that I will provide you the leads, that I will make it easier for you. In fact, I'm very clear in the message. The message is if you want it, it's going to be hard. If you want it, it's going to be monotonous. If you want it, it's going to be painful. That is the picture that I paint for you. And I also make many agents, the agents that come through for interviews, I let them know, hey, I am the constant here. I know what I am capable of. I know that I will show up on a daily. The only variable right now is you. I put it all on them because I want them to be clear that if they build something significant, it's going to be on the back of their hard work, not my promises, not the shiny light. And I think that's why we have so much pride in what we do, and we find so much satisfaction in seeing others grow within the organization, because we understand it was not easy. And nothing easy was ever promised here. And I see this a lot, right? I see this a lot where, agents begin to start building their businesses. And it's awesome. In fact, once they start going, the momentum, it seems like things just start growing exponentially. And it's very addicting. That whole process of growth after, many months of painful, no results, being in that place of darkness, not having the finances, and then all of a sudden seeing this progression. It gets very addicting. You're like, wow, this is awesome. And I see that a lot. And I've experienced that a lot. And we fall under the false pretense that it's always going to be this way. It's only going to magnify itself 10x from here on forward. Because I've done the hard work, at least that's what we misinterpret, right? I've done the hard work. I've already felt the pains. Now it's just reaping the fruits each and every day. And what we don't understand is that only harvested what is going on right now. It doesn't mean it's forever. And when we fall into that trap, thinking that the hard part has already been taken care of, is when we begin this process of reducing what we've done over the years, of declining, of not growing. And we have to understand that this process never ends. And when we get into this place of hard, like right now, it's very hard in our industry. It's hard to get offers accepted. It's hard to get listings. The volume that's out there is minimal, which means that the demand is through the roof and the supply is very short. It's very small. And what ends up occurring is whenever we run into a difficult spot, when things get harder, we sometimes misinterpret wanting it easy by seeing an opportunity that appears the right way. And let me go ahead and break this down, because I'm not sure if I was able to convey that as clearly as I intended to. When things get hard, we unintentionally or intentionally look for the easy. And sometimes these easy things mask themselves as an opportunity. So when things are going about and it gets hard, we start veering off and looking for the easy path. And all of a sudden, we misinterpret this opportunity as that path, when in fact, it's everything but an opportunity. And I've heard it all before. AZ, I have this huge opportunity. I'm going to lead a relocation division. It was an opportunity that just fell on my lap, AZ. I'm going to get leads for multi-million-dollar homes. So if I simply move my business to this location over here, the broker guaranteed me that there was going to be basketball players and NFL players that were going to buy multi-million-dollar homes from me. It's a great opportunity, AZ. I'm going to lead the division of this so-and-so team, this so-and-so company. They chose me out of all the tens of thousands of agents. They chose me, AZ. It's a great opportunity. And sometimes I just want to ask them, right? Whenever they've made up their mind, and I'm talking because this has recently happened. Whenever someone makes up their mind, there's nothing I can say, nothing I can change their perspectives on. It's too late. I don't want to change that. In fact, they have to move forward with their decision. It's not my job or my responsibility to try to dissuade them, to try to give them light on something that I'm seeing from afar. I've been in the game 17 years. And when somebody gives you this opportunity, it is short-lived, because they are trying to grow their business on the coattails of somebody else's hard work to make it easier on themselves. What I'm thinking the entire time is this opportunity, quote unquote, and I'm putting my fingers up for those that are going to be hearing this on the podcast, this opportunity would have never presented itself had you been doing the work. Had you put your nose down and just done what was required, this opportunity would have never showed up. Because you're too busy creating opportunity for yourself as opposed to looking to be saved by someone else. So how do you interpret the easy path? Trying to seek the easy path and a real opportunity? I'll tell you how. There's only one way. Have you been doing the work? And if an opportunity falls within itself on the back of you doing the hard work, then it truly is an opportunity. But if you've been avoiding it, it's not an opportunity. It's a shiny light. And you know it. So when these conversations come about, I will never, ever try to talk you out of it. Because I'm hoping, and the part of me thinks maybe I have failed. Because you stop believing in yourself. You stop believing that you can create something great for yourself, and you need somebody else's success to build yours. And when the conversation goes there, I will never, ever try to talk you out of it. You now have to suffer the consequences, which is going to delay what you want for years. Because I try to remind you that on a daily basis, that you are capable of creating everything you want. But if you forget, I can't help you. And I'll get this, AZ, I'm so sorry, but I have to take this opportunity. Don't apologize to me. You don't owe me shit. You don't owe me an apology. The only person or people you should be apologizing to is yourself and your family. Misinterpreting this opportunity because of your lack of work, because of your lack of dedication, because it got too hard. You knew that coming in. Don't apologize to me. So if you're in a place where things are getting hard, okay, how can you improve? Don't look to ride the coattails of somebody else's success, because it will never be yours. It will be their success. You're just riding the wave, and guess what? The waves dissipate. They disappear. Why don't you be the tide? Forever moving. But I've heard them all. And I hope that you're just able to get that if you want to build something great, it's always going to fall on you. Now, I'm a believer. I'm a believer in the fact that, hey, listen, and I think we all have to believe. I'm a believer that there's no greater environment than what we have here. Because it's never based on a false promise, a shiny light, a so-called opportunity. It's based on your hard work. So when you say something like, I am going to lead this division here in Arizona, it's like, what happens when they stop? What are you going to do then? Because you started eroding all your confidence and your ability to create it on your own. Why don't you use the steps in this 12-week target book to learn something about building leads, online leads, how to follow up? Why don't you use your CRM on a daily basis so you're that person creating the leads, not sitting back hoping one is handed to you? And even the Bible says it, right? I got a quote here. And it was Matthew 13-14. It says, enter by the narrow gate. Enter by the narrow gate. For the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction. And those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life. And those who find it are few. When I read that, I got chills on my arms. Chills. The narrow gate will always be hard to find. It takes discipline. The broad gate, it can be easily followed without thought. There's plenty of space to walk in. There's plenty of space for the attractive things of this world to grow and allure. There's plenty of space for a person to wander about. It is difficult to wander off this path. The narrow path, it's tough. It is tough. The intentional path, couple wrong moves, you're off of it completely. But the wide path, the wide gate, plenty of room to screw around, Plenty of room not to do shit. That's the easy path. The narrow path is unpopular. The narrow path requires discipline and hard work, requires you getting up in the morning and being intentional about everything you do. The narrow path, I've been on the wide path. The wide path, that's very popular. Reminds me a lot of these, networking events that I used to go to. About how everyone is so serious, about, everyone's beating their chest about how successful they're going to be. Dropping the names of others that have done it. But what do you do after that? It sounds good. The bright lights, the conferences, right? These events, in any industry you're in, you'll see them. But what do they do after that? It's all debauchery. It's a shit show. They go out and get all drunk, all messed up, while their spouses and kids are at home. But they're at this conference. They're getting fired up because it's so much fun. It's the wide path. Of course it's going to be fun. There's more people on it. Less responsibility. Easy to talk big game, but hard to execute it because you're too hungover. You're still feeling the effects of the high of somebody else's success. Oh, look at this person. They've done it. They're going to help me do it. Bullshit. Drunk talk. Been there. Not realizing most of the people that you're networking with are broke. You're drinking with broke. Burnt out with broke. But this big talk under the right conditions sounds good. Until you realize you have to face realities. So guess what? As opposed to facing my realities, I'll just go to another networking event with hundreds of thousands of people that are all fired up. That's going to help me. But yet you fail to grow anything significant. And these opportunities, the so-called opportunities, are abundant for people that can't create it. And I get it. Things are going to get hard. Things are hard for you right now, but it doesn't mean that you're going to just simply look for the easy or for the opportunity. You have to build your capacity, your endurance, your mindset. You have to grow thick skin. You have to understand, right? Like William Ernest Henley says in Invictus, the last paragraph, it matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I'm the master of my destiny. And we all get lured in at the moment it gets tough. I get it. I bought into a franchise because I thought it was going to be easier. I just killed years of growth and momentum. I tried to go the easy route of growing this brokerage by offering extra low fees. Come one, come all, only left me miserable and hanging on to a thread if I should even grow this. It's not your job to look for the opportunities. Your job to get better. Jim Rohn, right? Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. In fact, what he meant was get better. Put it on yourself. Never said go find someone that's going to do it all for you and give you a handout. It never works out that way, I promise you. But sometimes the truth is hard to absorb. The truth is painfully true. And who wants that? But if you're ever to navigate through this and improve yourself, if you ever navigate through this and reinforce that you got into this because you knew it wasn't going to be easy, your results will be everlasting because they were built on your foundation, not on the lure, not on the false promise or the successes of that other person. And kudos to those other people. They worked their ass off. But it's not yours. And although it maybe seemed like a good idea in the beginning, I promise you this, I've been in the game 17 years. And anytime somebody's been lured this way, has fell flat on their face. Flat on their face. And I don't wish that upon anyone. What I'm saying is you lost the confidence in yourself. You thought you couldn't create it on your own. You thought you needed a savior. Bullshit. You wanted the easy route. You know what you're capable of. Now is not the time to give up on it. Now is not the time to think somebody else is going to hand it to you. You be the creator. The broad and easy way can be followed without thought. So just think about that. So it's your choice, and the results that you want are going to be based 100% on your actions. And I'm rooting for you, 100%. And even though someone may be painting a great picture, it's not yours to keep. It's their picture. I'm telling you, and I'm encouraging you to paint your own, so it could always be yours. I want to thank you for joining me for this episode of Mindset Mastery. I want to read some comments, but I think the screen I have in front of me is just way too small. Can we increase that? Give me 1 second, guys. What are you guys hearing in this conversation? I think we all need to be reminded, right? I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. So, just in closing, I want to remind you again, and I'm going to read some comments here. If this opportunity came about, did it come on the back of you doing what you said you were going to do, or did it come on the back because you were wishing things were easier? And that's how you will interpret if it truly is an opportunity or simply a shiny light. Okay, that's the main way. Because most of these so-called opportunities will never be visible to you when you're doing the hard work, when you're committed to your game, when you show up day in and day out. Jason, nobody gives you anything in this industry, and if they do, then it will have tons of strings attached. You will still have to do the work, but those people will profit off your hard work versus you doing the work and making the profit yourself. Get up early, plan your day, work out, and then do the things during the day others won't do. You owe it to yourself, not anyone else. Fired up. I love hearing this from you, AZ, because it makes me feel like I'm having the same mindset while together. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all yours, 100%. And I hope you get that. That message has always been clear here. I'm not a savior. I'm just encouraging you, and I'm holding up my 12-week target book just to do the things that will build capacity. These are the answers to everything you want. No one's going to hand it to you. If it is, it's temporary. You become dependent. You will weaken yourself. I promise you. This will strengthen you because it puts it all on you. Being able to make our lives better by doing the work is the only way. No matter where you go, you have to do the work to improve anything. No one can save you but you. And I think sometimes we forget, but like I said, I've had teams, and I've had this brokerage for 17 years, and I've heard it all. And I have to bite my tongue. I just can't take that away from the other person. They have to make that mistake. I'm just hoping that they, during the time that they were here, that if they would have kept on leaning in, if they kept on understanding that it was always on them, that conversation would have never happened. So by the time we have that conversation, you don't owe me an apology. I promise you, don't apologize to me. Just go, make your mistakes at that point, right? And hopefully you have the courage to get up, dust yourself off, and put it back on you, realizing that somebody else's hard work is not yours. I get calls, texts, and emails from people wanting to offer leads, coaching, zip codes, marketing help, etc. I fell for a couple of these schemes as a new agent. I continue to learn that everything I need to succeed is in me. Doing the little things every day is the most efficient way for me to succeed. That's it, right, Fred? And I promise you fell into that trap because at the moment you probably stopped doing the work. I know I did. When I thought that the task was too hard, that's when when that shiny object looked like an opportunity. The shiny object was an opportunity. That's the way I misinterpreted it. Because I was failing and I was unwilling to do the hard work, what it took to really build that opportunity for myself. And I've thrown tens of thousands of dollars on these box trainings for this brokerage. I figured that, hey, somebody else has it figured out. I'll go ahead and do it that way because I was unwilling to do the work. I was unwilling to sit down and really describe who we're about and what we're going and what our methodologies were. And shiny object, oh, it's an opportunity. No, never an opportunity. I just stopped doing the work. Damn. I wish I would have known that. Even if you get a lead, doesn't mean it's going to bring you anything. You have to work them and you have to work them all and find out who is worth your time right now and keep the people engaged who are the future of your business. Absolutely. Can't listen to the crowd. They're in the crowd for a reason. Absolutely, right? And that's so beautifully described here on Matthew 13-14. Enter the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter it are by many. That means it's the path of least resistance. When it's the path of least resistance, it's going to be the popular path, right? So I'm not about those big networking events and pumping my chest and saying how I'm the master of the universe and how everything is dandy, and only to wake up hungover the next day. I played that game for many years. And I thought I was playing at a high level. I wasn't. I was a boy trying to play in a man's world, right? Because a man would have taken care of his responsibilities at home. A man would have took it upon himself to say, I will be the creator. But it took many, many years to figure that out. And I'm hoping these conversations will enlighten you to identify shiny light or opportunity. Opportunity always comes on the back of hard work. Shiny light is when you stopped doing the work. All right, let's go ahead and zoom that back in. Bullshit, drunk talk for real. I went to KW's Mega Camp a few years ago. You're describing it to a T, exactly what was going on. People were more about having a good time, getting drunk, eating on the company's dime, and collecting stupid little marketing tools from all the vendors attempting to get all the agents' business. And that's exactly what it is. I did these conferences, Roger, for years. And it was the REO conferences. And there was very little learning. It was all about having fun. And what I didn't know is I was sacrificing a lot back home. No wonder I had big issues at home. No wonder I lacked as a father, as a husband, right? No wonder my business was constantly struggling. But it felt good. In the moment, it feels so good. You start seeing great things. And you forget that, hey, that's not how you get lasting results, because the real players are not there. They're not there. And I would always see the big players, they would never be on the nightlife. I only thought that that's how you get more accounts, is, entertaining clients in the nightlife. But the real players were up in the classes every morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. As I was waking up at 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, right, planning out tonight's events, they were up early. Don't buy into a brokerage. It will kill you. Exactly. The times that I'm vulnerable are those times that I make bad choices because I want the easy way out. When I'm succeeding, there's no reason to buy into opportunities. Yes. The opportunities are created, right? They don't necessarily land on your lap. And I think that's the way we got to look at it. Right? They're created. Opportunities are created. Yes, feel free to ask me about my delusion. The grass is greener, that a big box broker would get me the next level. When I actually decreased my business the year I was gone, and when I came back, over tripled my prior year. and did 2.5 times more than the other year in the business. Shiny objects are just a distraction. If the normal deposits aren't being done, why would a new tool or a magic pill fix it all? Delusions being sold to agents on a daily basis when we have the clear path laid out in front of us. No one can save you but yourself by doing the work. That is beautifully stated. You need to copy that and post it back out there, man. That is beautifully stated, and I think that can help many people. And Roger, you were probably in that place too, right? Things started growing and didn't grow as fast enough. And you're like, wait, there's got to be something different. But you forgot maybe there was things you weren't doing. And for you to come back and now put in the work, this is just the beginning of a great foundation that will pay its dividends for a lifetime because it is yours, solely yours, not on the back of somebody else's easy path, right? Congratulations, brother. I appreciate you sharing that. Okay, let me have, we have this little screen in front of me, and this is actually pretty good. I can see it okay. If you receive the easy, let's see here. Step away from that. Okay. If you receive easy handouts, you won't survive when handouts run out. Yes. Wow. Exactly that. Bonnie, thank you, AZ. I've been in this industry for several years and worked for several brokerages. With this brokerage, I have learned so much and have grown so much. If you don't do the work like the rest of these badass agents, how do you expect to be successful? Hashtag DTW. Thank you, AZ. I'm so happy to be part of this brokerage. I thank you as well. And guys, if you're not on that path, if it's getting too hard, I'm holding the 12-week target book in my hand. Okay, I got the regular version, and I also have my bedazzled version here, okay? But this is what it looks like. I'm going to encourage you, just go in there. It requires you to be a better person, a better spouse, a better human being in general, a better business person. This is what's required for you to get to that next level. No one else can do it for you. Thank you again for joining me for this episode of Mindset Mastery, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Badass Agents Podcast, brought to you by AZ & Associates and Do the Work Coaching and Consulting. You can watch this and other episodes by subscribing to our channel on YouTube or by visiting us directly at badassagents.com. And of course, you can listen to this episode and many others on your preferred podcast provider.